So, guys, last time I talked about how magic is real. Magic is not the sleight of hand kind of misconception that we have in our world, but that magic is real, and all that it really is our action in this moment here and now. And so I talked all about that last time, and that really plays right into a very similar theme that I'm gonna talk about this time, and that's essentially to appreciate the journey. Um, I feel like when you start getting into topics like this, it's a really personal, introspective, experiential thing. Something you have to literally experience. Something you have to live yourself. So I can only kind of say so much to convey it, but I certainly can say based on my own experience. Um, it's in a journey, guys, and like all this pain and suffering, every like figuratively every rep that you crank out, sometimes literally, for me that's very literal, but every rep that you crank out is one more, again, like one more magical moment. That idea of that idea that I talked about last time, that magic is just in our actions, and that it's real and it's now. There's a reason we need to be appreciating all the toil. It's I think I've talked about before in one of the past videos about the way you view pain, right? So the idea that the only way out is through, and that really we just have to embrace the pain and find a way to love it, because it's the only way we're gonna win. Like the very idea of progress, is rooted in action, and action is itself painful in some way by degree. And so you just, like, without elaborating and getting too philosophical, like you just have to find a way to embrace it. And so what happens when you truly do, and you truly kind of embrace the suck, and you start to love that pain, and you love your process more than anything, and the process is painful, so to love the process is pain, and vice versa. When you do that, you start to appreciate the journey. It's just inherently what happens, like inevitably, innately, you learn to appreciate and to love the process. And that's where the magic is at, guys. Again, that's why I said they're so integrally tied together. Magic is in the moment, and appreciate the process. They're almost one and the same thing, really. It's just I think a different nuance, a different note of talking about what I did last time. So it's like there is no magic, there is no beauty without this moment right now, in which we create it, in which we create the future, create our dreams and goals, and or manifest our goals. And so it's like you'll look back you'll look back one day. I made a post on IG, and this really says it, like really sums it up. It's that famous picture in 300 of the little boy being taken away by the two grown men, being taken away from his mother to enter the Agoge, the Spartan training program, where he's going to spend the next 13 years of his life. Like barring the historicity, he's being taken away to enter the forge, the fire in the forge, and all the pain that he's going to have to go through. And the caption that I've got on the picture is, one day you'll look back on the pain and smile. And that's the whole point, guys. That's the whole point. It really is. You will look back one day, and you will be so grateful for every ounce of blood you poured, every ounce of sweat, every ounce of toil and suffering that you went through. You will be grateful and glad for it, because it will be the reason you are where you are right now. To transpose yourself onto that future, onto your future self, or into your future self, and onto your future template of life. Like where you'll be will be the product of what you've done right now. And no matter how much it hurt, it won't matter, because it'll be gone. It won't be a thing anymore. It will be over, and all that will matter is that you did it, that it was done, and you will be so grateful. It's just the way the universe works. It's the way this world revolves, the way it turns. As we speak right now, this very moment, when I'm recording it, while you're watching it, like this is just the universe. This is the way things are. There is no progress without the action to propel it to be so. There is no progress without the like the incipient pain. Like it's just the way it works. And so instead of hating that pain, and instead of cursing the universe for making you go through it, like just love it. Understand that it's a blessing. It's a blessing more than anything. Like pain is not a curse. Pain is a blessing. Pain is indicative of growth. It's incipient to growth. It's the thing that has to happen before the growth can occur. It's just, again, universal law. Like I swear every single one of these videos I talk about how, like, guys, I don't have an agenda, I don't have an opinion, I'm just after truth. I just want to find the truth and uncover it so that I, and all you guys by extension, can live the beauty that we're like meant to like live the life that we're meant to, so we can find our purpose and harness it. And I mean, there's so many ways to say it, to nuance it, but I just want to find the truth. I just want to boil life down to its simplest state, to its simplest truths, so that we can harness them and win and go full steam ahead. Problem that hinders us so much of the time is we can't find the answers, and therefore we don't know how to. You really, in order to act, you really have to have an answer. An answer is a premise. You have to have that to act upon in the first place, and that's where so many of us get hung up. And then we start complicating things, right? Looking at this variable and that, and looking all over the place and up and down, and we just fucking confuse ourselves. The answer is in simplicity. The answer is you boil it down to its simplest state, to its simplest science. There's nothing more to it. So when things get complicated and you look at them and you can't make up from down, just boil it down. Ask the most basic question you can, and just, it's like common denominators in math. Boil it down, knock it down to the lowest common denominator, you know, by a math analogy, you know. Just simplify it. And that's really what we're looking at here, is with everything, but it applies in this case as well. And then this really is the foundation of it all, that this is what we make ourselves. Our actions, our choices right now, the pain we go through right now is where we're going to end up in the future. And so just understand that. Like, it's perspective, guys. It's perspective. And that word perspective I've talked about before, literally in Latin, is being able to see through. Through, spect is sight or looking or watch or whatever. So it's literally seeing through. We have to be able to see through this, like in the here and now, this veil, this immediate lens. It has to be well, let me so we have to be able to see past this immediate veil of our kind of superficial immediate reality. We have to be able to see through to the end. We have to have like that sight beyond sight that I talk about so much. And that's the perspective, and that's where you harness the perspective of understanding that this pain right here and right now is a good thing. It's a blessing. And so I guess I just want to reinforce, you know, appreciate your process and love it, because, like, what if you didn't have it? You would have nothing. It is the process that is everything. You hear about how the journey is where it's at and not the end goal. Like, yeah, it's one of those cliches for a reason, because without the journey, there is no end, or there is no goal. There is it's only in the journey that we find the goal. And there's another argument, like, that even once you find the goal, you don't stop, you just continue on the journey. But, like, just keeping it real simple, like, it's this journey, it's this moment, this process right here and now that is everything. Appreciate it, because this is your life. This is all we have, and it's beautiful, and that's the magic. It's right here, right now, in this moment, in this process. So appreciate it, because it's where the magic is, guys. Just always keep it in perspective. Stay humble, stay very grateful, and stay fired inside. Like, keep that fire going. You can't lose any one of these things. They're all equally important. The humility, the gratitude, the fire. I think those are, and then the perspective, I think, to ground it all, I think, are like the 3-4 really, really big ones. Humility, gratitude, perspective, fire. Fire can be, you know, work ethic or whatever, but keep those things, like, really grounded. Really, really grounded, and definitely keep that discipline to just keep showing up every day. That's what I talked about in one of those past videos too, showing up every day. So just appreciate the moment, guys. Appreciate this moment, because this is all there is. There is only this moment. Like, this life, the future, the past, everything is just this moment. Don't take nothing for granted. Appreciate it, guys. Be truly Spartan.